Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this weird Sunday thing that we're doing. Otherwise known as, and wait, because Kez is amazing. He made me a thing. Look at it. It's pretty. It says Ollie's Spicy Roundup. So yeah, that's really cool. And I'm immediately gonna get some shit from my two co-hosts at this point because they keep on coming on and putting up with me. So welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there. He's there. Welcome, first of all, to well, welcome to the top four GSP content contender. Connor,
Thank you.
I don't know how discipline works. Holmes.
I knew exactly how discipline worked. I didn't know how well it worked.
I mean, he did send me a message in the top eight asking exactly how discipline worked. I'm just going to point that out.
No, that's not fair.
No, it's
I
not.
was just
It's not.
asking about the link action.
You understand how it works mostly. And Liam, who really needs to sort out his microphone issues so he stops echoing in my ear, but is also the king of leads, Baker.
Yeah, that's me. I can only assume as well, going by the new graphic, that my nickname is either Spicy or Roundup,
You're the spicy.
and Connor's is the other.
You're the spicy. Connor's the roundup.
I'll take it.
Or maybe you're the pepper, Connor.
Which is literally what your ass is going to feel like at the end of which round.
Oh. Well, we'll
Canada
see.
next, Ollie. Just
Canada. I
checking.
mean, we've just done pairings against Canada, and well, all I'm hearing is that Raithos is saying that apparently I was scared of him, but their team captain put Ray into a matchup that wasn't against me. So when we picked it, whose fault is that? He made the first move, so that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I've come to a truce with Canada, my Canadian brethren, and we are united in our mission to destroy Uranus. With hot sauce, not anything more interesting.
That's entirely fair. Also, if both Ireland and Canada beat England, then you both have a chance of getting through. So that seems entirely fair.
Yeah, I had a dream.
Of time gone by. Yes.
Oh, well, this is happening.
What?
But
I like
Liam's melodious tones will be coming in any moment.
I like singing. I would genuinely have been singing to The Greatest Showman for the last 4 days because I finally found that CD for my car. So, yes, fellow kids, I still have CDs in my car. Yeah, the echo is Liam, and I'm gonna have to.
Is that Okay, hang on. I'm just going to switch modes.
Oh, God
I'll
bless
be back-
Liam. Liam got
I'll
a
be
new
back in a
headset.
second.
No, it's just mean.
Just put him
Oh,
on.
no, this is an old headset. I didn't put that much effort in. I'll be there in a minute.
He's just got to
He
go.
knows. Hello, I've come for some precise XTC predictions.
He's just got to go on to push the talk. It's fine. Right.
BRB.
It's fine. Right. So, importantly, we have some stuff that we're seeing today, which is this. But let's get ourselves. Let me just get up the right web pages. Here we go. We are. I'm not going to say we're professional. We're really not professional. I mean, the chat's enjoying it. Connor's mission to destroy on his anus. I mean, there we go.
I mean, come on, look at this guy.
Mm.
How could you not want to give him hot sauce?
I thought you were going to say, how could you not want to destroy his anus? So I'm glad we went there.
Well, I'm glad you went there.
Well, you're welcome.
A little presumptive. Buy me a drink first.
Cheers.
I leave the chat for what, like...
Yeah,
20 seconds?
it got really gay. Like, really gay.
Fine.
I mean, I'm here for it.
Okay, now we have a menage a trois.
Oh dear, but no, as a serious thing, this is yeah. I mean, I was also singing Disney at multiple people. Yeah, I was. Hello to Dan, because I started singing Mulan midway through my IG match. Not only do I whistle when I'm nervous, apparently I also sing Disney. So there we go. Oh dear. See, Carson just doesn't want to talk about this week, and Canada just want to talk about next week. So I think it's only fair to annoy Canada and the USA all at one time. And actually, to be fair, I was all for, like, at about Wednesday when it was looking really bad for Canada, because it was looking really bad. Sorry, for the USA. On Wednesday, USA were they going to be the big story of the week. And they were just like, oh no, like Ollie's going to come and be really mean to us. And then today happened. Today is topsy-turvy day. First of all, I am going to be very, very nice to Marcel Manzano. Do you know why I'm going to be nice to Marcel Manzano? Because the man went and won a Gold Squadron event. I mean, cheating, because it's his event, but that's fine. He went and won a Gold Squadron event with Dace Bonearm. For those of you who haven't heard of Dace Bonearm, I mean, I'm not surprised.
The ability's not that bad, and he's very cheap.
He is very cheap because, you know... Oh, jeez. But yeah, like...
I'd like to put out at this point that had I got a little bit more fortuitous in my quarterfinal or semi-final, I was genuinely nervous about making that man at the final.
It's
He
interesting.
had won long before I'd finished.
So,
I was like, he was not. He's going to be new. Hi, how are you doing? Yes, I'm the other guy on Ollie's stream. I know we've never met. Shall we play in silence?
and to be fair, I agree with Carson here. This is utter proof of how dumb Bosk with Zam and Greedo is. Like, that ship is nonsense. But also, I mean, I got a message at whatever time yesterday morning from Marcel saying, "Hey, I've thought of a thing. I'm gonna do an utter meme list for the Gold Squadron event tomorrow." And I was thinking, "Oh, this is hilarious. He's gonna trash some people with it. It's gonna be fun. If he makes the cut, it's gonna be great. People are gonna lose their minds." And he goes and wins the thing. So, and if anyone was watching the GSP stream, Dace Bonearm actually won it for him with the final shot of the game. So yeah, good job, Dace.
Yep, no, absolutely, 100%.
Awesome.
Still would have liked to have a just little chance at it though.
Yeah, feels bad.
Last mention.
Still,
Great
you
event.
are officially just as good as Actor Khan now, because not only are you struggling in the XTC, but you're also very good at going top 4 in a GSP event.
Both love you and fuck you.
Oh, I told you we're getting spicy, right? Let's turn on my light. Boof! That'd be light. Sorry, Actor. I love you really. But oh god, that one stung. Right, so I'm just going to remind everyone of what the episode title is, because I feel like it could be a bit of a sore week for everyone involved. All right, let's do it. No, Liam's had a good week. And welcome back. Thank you for sorting out mics. All right,
It's okay.
Shall we get into it?
Yeah, I mean, we've been very consistently going A, B, C, D, E.
I kind of don't want to start with A this
Do you want to
week, though.
go? Do you want to go E, D, C, B, A?
I mean, I think we should, because
I think we should. I think we should start with E.
let's start
I think we
off
should start with E.
with whatever form of dumpster fire Group E has turned into. Group of Entropy is right. So let's break down what we have this week.
America 2.0 is rising up.
America 2.0 is doing pretty damn well. So let's have a look at this week. So we start off with France versus Switzerland. Where is France versus Switzerland? Where is it? Where's it gone? There it is. So if you'd have told me at the start of the tournament that France-Switzerland was 5-2 to France, I would have said that that's fine and no worries here. But Switzerland has been on a tear recently, so I think this was actually a good result for France.
Yeah, I called this one. France were waking up.
Yeah.
I was hoping Switzerland were going to win because Fabian.
Oh, Fabi. We love Fabi. D2. Shout out to Fabi for also commentating on the match. And realistically, what that has done, because Switzerland is one of the big players in this group, it's put France in a very good position for getting through to finals, because they still have the bye, so they've only actually lost one game, same as Japan. So they're in a pretty good place.
Welcome back, France.
Yep. Allez les Bleus, etc. I like France. France is a nice place.
Okay, Mexico,
right.
Denmark.
Mexico,
where are you hiding on me?
Denmark is...
I will literally send somebody a token set who fixes this bloody thing.
Yeah, we're not allowed to. It's very annoying. There we go. Mexico, Denmark. Denmark, was not expecting that. Was not expecting it to be... I don't know. I was maybe expecting a 4-3. But, yep, Denmark have woken up as well. And Mexico have been put back down into the dirt. So, yeah, Denmark, Mexico, 5-2. 5-2, not awful. Oh, yeah, sorry. We also need to talk about Nick's amazing thing that he did this week.
Well, I was going to mention it when we got to C.
We'll do that. We'll wait for
Yep.
C. We'll wait for C. Right. Where are we? We need yes, sorted. Sorry, I'm juggling multiple windows here. Awesome. Okay.
Oh, is anyone told as a goal we've only just started again?
Oh yeah, because we do that every week. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Also, when Vince gets here, we'll do that too.
Oh, I've missed Vince.
Awesome. And yeah, hey Dave, good to see you.
So Serbia smashed the Netherlands.
Yeah, so again, upsets. This
Well, Netherlands
is...
are on 11 round wins at this point, man. This is not an upset. This is not the team we were expecting.
No, it's not at all. And the crazy thing is that if you have a look at the Netherlands team, they have all the players. Like, they have 5 of their world's team. I call them a team because they turned up as a massive group to Worlds this year, 2019, because it's now 2 years ago.
Yeah, we don't have this year.
Yeah. So the Netherlands turned up as a massive group in 2019 with like 11 of them, and they're all terrifying. And 5 or 6 of them were in this team. So I'm just very confused as to why the Netherlands aren't doing as well as they should. Maybe they're messing up pairings. I was told that I should probably mention the fact that it's clearly because Tom Reed is no longer playing for the Netherlands and he's playing for us. So that's made all the difference. Shout out to Tom for continuing.
If we do
maybe
quick
they
run of
could
this.
have, reached out to other mercs who are available.
Okay.
Netherlands.
I'm proud of you, Liam. I'm proud. He's
quick rock
he's
through.
not letting the joke die. I'm impressed.
Jesus Christ.
It's good.
Nobody in Group E has won 3 rounds.
Yeah.
It is 2-2-2, 2-2,
I mean,
1-1.
just having a look at this, absolutely anyone can make it out of this group, and we could see a genuine situation where there is a multiple 3-3 tie for the end. There we go.
I'm gonna say Denmark's points difference, Denmark's match wins, Serbia, Japan had a break, so actually hard to read because its points difference and the set wins are down a full grouping.
I mean, if we're going on individual game wins, then Serbia is obviously at the top of the pile here.
Yes, except for the fact that we have to accept that Japan hasn't played a round.
Yeah, and that is a big thing, is that if we expect France and Japan to get another win, if you put them up to the same level, then they would be on 3-1. And I think we can start to look, if we don't get any more upsets in this group, I think we might need to have a look at when. So what is Japan's schedule for the next few? Let's do the last matchup. Japan did beat the break. There we go. So Japan had their break this week.
Now, you may or not know this, stream. That was Ollie's only accurate prediction this week.
In Group E. Yeah, I got it wrong because I thought the Swiss were going to continue bouncing back and beating France. I thought that Mexico were going to step up and beat Denmark, and I thought the Netherlands were finally going to wake up. Turns out, no. Right. Also, shout out to Yelta for getting paired into Danger Bosk on stream. Ugh. It was the game to win, and it was literally the hardest game that you could ever play, which is that horrible Bosk versus 3 Jedi Aces. I felt so bad for him. Yeah, that's hard.
Yep.
We're not getting into the buys situation. It doesn't matter. They just haven't played around. So
Dan, it's not even the fact that it counts them properly. It's more of a predicted concept of what's going to follow that's more interesting, rather than the place in the table.
Standings don't matter in Group E right now. They really don't. What matters is who you've beaten, which is what I'm just going to have a look at. Because if we have a look, and I wanted to have a look at each group's schedule just quickly. Normally I do this at the end, but I think it's important to do this now for Group E. So we're looking at these last 3 weeks here. So in the last 3 weeks, Japan has to play the Netherlands, Mexico, and France. Not the easiest.
Like that round, France has to play Mexico, the Netherlands, and Japan. So which one of those is going to have a harder run there?
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Like France and Japan, as you say, Netherlands there, Mexico, and I mean they have a mirror, right? They have an absolute mirror. Also, what is this about 1 minute 30 delay? I mean, okay, you make no sense. So yeah, but with the fact that Japan and France are essentially mirrors of each other, it's going to be interesting to see who beats the other, because whichever one wins the Japan-France game, which is the last one, gets bumped down into the other chasing pack. There we go.
Yeah.
In which case, don't worry. The France have the harder. They literally have the same run. Nick, they're playing the same. Oh, sorry, Pond. They're playing the same opponents. So, I mean, if you think that the Japanese are better than the French, then yes, they do have the harder run, which is fair. Spicy things. There we go. There's the spicy things. It's quite nice having that.
I'm the spicy thing.
Liam is the spicy thing. He is sitting in the background just waiting to shit on people. It's great.
And I'm the roundup.
Hey, you rounded up everything with disciplined disciplined barons.
Oh, that was awful.
It was really bad. Also, I think it's time for our second dig at Connor for the night, because Connor did not realize that this weekend was Hyperspace. He just happened to accidentally pick a Hyperspace list, submit it, and turn up to round one. Not even notice in the player briefing. Just turn up to round one with a list and went, "Oh, this is Hyperspace." Well, that was lucky.
No. Way later than that. Way later than that. I was flicking through a list, wondering why nobody was taking Palpatine. I was like, why are all these fucking why are sprays running 1/4s? At which point, somebody told me.
Oh dear. I approve.
Had a momentary panic that my list wasn't in fact Hyperspace at that point.
No one probably would have noticed, because I mean, shout out to Dion for still running Hyperspace tournaments, but Hyperspace isn't in. I don't feel it's in the best place, unless you really
Hyperspace
like
is trash.
If you really like disciplined and fire sprays, then awesome. But
I know, right, Dan? My powers can only grow as I wake up.
Yeah. Simon, keep the bomb away from me. I want to keep my esophagus open. Thank you very much. I would actually be interested in wasabi for the hot sauce thing, if I actually get hot sauced. Right then. It looks like I've just started a civil war in the Malta team about whether or not Hyperspace is trash. But anyway, so I think what's more important than looking at the two top teams is also looking at the two, I say two middle teams, there isn't really middle teams, but the teams that I expect to be fighting to get out of this group, which is, sorry Denmark, it is Serbia, Switzerland and the Netherlands.
Ooh, has he called one wrong again?
Actually,
No.
I think, do I just get rid of the Netherlands now? Do I just get rid of them?
Yes.
I'm not calling Denmark out just yet either.
I really thought the Netherlands would do it, but they seem to just be struggling, and they're not showing any sign of improvement. And I'm really sorry, Netherlands, because you're all individually good players, but I think this is not your year.
It doesn't look like it. It seems really weird. It seems really weird. And it's really interesting to see the translation to online, but there was a really interesting debate going on this week, started by Mr. Paul Heaver himself, the actual 3-time X-Wing World Champion. Bow down to that man. He did it properly. I'm just cheating.
He did it the easier way.
You're just a world champion for life, really?
Yeah, apparently I'm just the permanent ever living. Someone made a joke the other day, just earlier today, about how as soon as I stop being world champion, I just crumble into dust. So
could we actually make this a proper thing that people could believe, like a proper conspiracy theory? Ollie Pocknell caused COVID, which doesn't exist, in order to never cease being world champion.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you, meddling kids and your
much older than you,
vaccines.
man. Yeah.
Yes. Also, shout out to Jan in the chat, spitting straight fire back at me. You get a cookie today, Jan. With your predictive capabilities, Ollie, Denmark takes your comment as positive. Well done. Well done. Oh, I'm just bathing in that one. That one was good. That one was good.
John, I've been relatively well calling these. I think Denmark's still in.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, group of entropy. I think the more important thing is let's just have a look at the next few weeks for this now. So, Japan, Mexico, France, Netherlands. Not easy for either of those. Serbia, Denmark. I feel like Serbia is going to win that.
All right, we have not said Serbia is the worst team according to this stream. This is how these rumors start. Serbia has always been on the sidelines for a definite maybe out of this group for us.
Yeah, like I've been repeatedly saying that Serbia is scary. I feel like we never really know how long the tail on Serbia is, because we know they have probably the best Swarm player in the world, but it's like a Heineken advert at this point. But yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Boys, that might be on me because I think I had them to be bottom of the group in our first week roundup.
Which is fair because
collectively we fucked up there.
Well, we
did. Let me have that opinion.
Nah, we didn't know how good Serbia were going to be because obviously they have Philip, but how good are the rest of the team? We don't know. And in the group of what looked at the time to be Netherlands and France smashing everyone, and with some other really strong teams, it did look like Serbia were possibly going to be at the bottom. In this case, though, hello Serbia, they came to play. Right, so that's Group E out of the way. Shall we get on to some good old America baiting?
We better move on before literally the Serbians never speak to us again.
Nah,
let's go get that D.
I like Serbia. Let's go get that D. Yes, indeed, and we return to butt-related incidents. All right, I'm gonna leave the interesting one till last here. But let's put this over there. Let's put this over there.
Well, I have been told we are all very heavily sleeping on Malta. Now, I've been told that by Malta, but
fair enough.
In fairness to them, I didn't realize Dave Marsh was on that team as well.
Yeah, he's the captain.
Yeah, and that I mean, I only know two of the names, but they're both really good.
I don't think anyone was arguing that Dave and Dan were the standouts in that team, because they stomped kids. But yeah, it's how much else they got. Now, yay, hey Sava, good to see you. And on the subject of a tail, Sava is definitely not on the tail. And he keeps on posting really cool pictures of his like first aid competitions, which is awesome. Yeah, Sava came to the first ETC. Really nice guy, really friendly.
Okay, so
right,
we also point out that one other major factor of this is that the team currently is 7th in the standings. Does not look great for Australia.
Not really. Sorry, Australia.
Oh wow,
Mr. Bye. Yeah,
I'd be feeling down under there.
I actually enjoyed that one. It hit with a thunk, but it was good.
I'll keep them coming.
Please do.
Wait till we get to North Mexico.
Hey, there it is. There it is. But in terms of this week, let's have a look at what we had this week. Where is the right week? There it is. So, Hungary, Australia. This one, I keep on being surprised. Should I just not be surprised?
We don't know what's going on.
Why would you be surprised?
That Australia keep on losing.
I mean, the fact is they always have to... But they always have to play at really fucking stupid times as well.
That is true. And yeah, the Aussies have the worst time zone issues in this. Because they're always playing either early in the morning or really, really late at night. So, yeah. Now, I'm aware Hungary is good, but Australia is meant to be terrifying.
Well, we'll make it really straightforward. They're not terrifying this year. God love them. They are out.
They are not. Yeah.
They're one of the very few teams that we can say this week is 100% done. but we still hold on the fact that Australia can upset the apple cart later on because it'll be hilarious.
Oh, absolutely. And if it's the one thing that the Aussies can and maybe will do, is just sucker punching Spain or the USA. Oh wait, no, they can't sucker punch Spain. So basically, sucker punching the USA in the last round because, I mean, if you're going to go down doing.
Go down, shaking everything apart and breaking some hearts.
Yeah.
You may as well take down the second best team in the league.
You die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain, or something like that.
But I think we're going to be fair to say the USA are probably not sweating buckets.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, say that, but they this isn't me having a dig, which I know is rare, but they had favourable matchups this week.
They did,
and the team fell apart.
Well,
no,
I wanna break. Wait. Pause. I want to break this one down later because actually, I'm really curious about this pairing, and I think we should talk about it quite a lot. Also, hey Pugs.
Okay.
So where are we? We did that. Sweden, Malta. Again, Sweden isn't looking as good as they could. I mean, obviously the 6-1 with USA was ridiculously close, but I didn't expect them to be beaten by Malta, and honestly, Malta looked really good in that. Hello, Harry. Yeah, Malta looked really, really good in that. Yeah, like, what the hell? Fair enough. Chile got the break this week, so now we should deal with this. Right, now, we spent a long time last week breaking down these pairings.
Some emotional responses from the community.
Yeah. And it felt like, based on the pairings, USA should win. However, we had a look at them and we said, okay, if there is an opportunity for an upset, these ones are going to be the upset. And from the looks of it, it looks as if there were some very small understanding errors in how to play against certain lists from a couple of the USA games. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on that, but from what I saw on the stream games, because I tried to watch pretty much all of them, I think there were some phenomenal games. If you haven't watched it, go and watch Doug Howe versus Nino, I think. Yeah.
The FO Aces versus
Aces versus Empire Aces. Oh my!
That was a game.
I am going to break that down. I've asked both players; they are happy for me to go over that. So when I eventually have some time, I'm going to go and commentate that. It
probably is. It probably was. It was the best game I think of the week.
Yeah, and I think what Carson has said there is that good players know how to win tough matchups, and Spain did that. And I think it gives a lot of credit to Spain in this one. I don't think we take any credit away from the USA because they played their pairings well. They understood what they had to do. And I think that Spain did it. What that does mean on the subject of... I'm absolutely going to go ahead and do a Veteran Instinct style on that one. If Lloyd and Paul don't nick it first, I will do that. But what I am going to say is it felt like this week the USA got player gapped, because they shouldn't have lost those games. And you give credit to Spain because USA are good. It just looked like Spain was better. And what the USA are going to have to do here is they're going to have to go away. They're going to have to rub their wounds. And they're going to have to say, okay, we got by that week. We cannot let that happen to us again. I don't think it's going to happen to them again in this group. So what that means is that they use this. This is essentially a perfect opportunity for the USA. If you're ever going to lose a game, you want to lose your hardest game in your group stage. Smash all the others and then go into finals and go, okay, what did we learn from that? How can we make sure that we don't get that done to us again? Because in the finals, there is going to be at least 4 other teams that are as good as Spain, I think. So that's my one there. So I think a little bit of player gap, but not much. And then, go from there. If you want to find that game, it was on Hexiled, I believe.
I found it. Do you just want me to put it in the chat?
Please do. Or if you can't put it in the chat, link it to me, and I will put it in the chat.
It's in there.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you.
We've got 3 Maltese players talking about how they get through this.
It isn't in the chat, I think, because you can't post links. So send it to me and then I'll paste it.
I feel so oppressed.
Yeah.
Malta beats USA and Malta beats Australia and takes the break. And the worst thing is, even if that happens, you still don't go through. Because the USA game difference is so vast.
This is the problem, Malta, is that even if you do beat the USA is going to win against almost anyone else on game wins.
Unless you mean you actually stomp them 7-0
yeah,
and stomp Australia 7-0.
You need to 7-0 USA, and because you've got the break week, that means you're not going to get as many games. So yeah, there we go.
And then, of course, Australia King makes. Okay, they've got a point. If Australia can pull himself out of nowhere and flatten the USA, Malta have a path in. So do Hungary, but that's it. The USA has to lose horribly the next 2 rounds.
Yeah, for sure. Right, there we go. There's the link for you, if anyone's wondering, for the Carson game. The Doug Howe game. Right.
Yep.
So... the Aussies can absolutely play Kingmakers, and if the Aussies beat the USA, then yes, Malta, you have a shot. It is now in your hands. But the Aussies need to do that. So...
Sweden? Sorry, we have to be fair to Sweden. In fairness, it is, yes, the only team out of this is Australia and Chile. Because Chile have had their break. No, sorry, that's not fair. They've got the 3 matches.
So,
the only team out is Australia. There is still mathematical possibility for everybody else to go through.
What's quite interesting here, what is really interesting, is that I think the USA have a better chance of going through than Spain do right now. Have a look at that. Have a look at the game difference. USA have won 21 games. With the same record, Spain have won 14.
Apologies.
They have a bye. It's a bye. Everything's fine.
So their average at the minute, their low average is 18.
Regardless, it's doable. If you have a look at someone like Hungary, right?
Hungary or Malta have to flatten, and then other matchups go well for them. It can happen, but it's a tough road to victory.
Yes.
Play to your outs.
But if you consider the 21 game wins from the USA, that is a big number. That is a big number. But I think, I think if you get the whatever it is from Hungary, and Hungary just stomp through, then there is a possibility that Hungary could come out of this and beat Spain. But
Sorry, quick response. Cam, they are 7 behind, which is why I said their average on a win basis would put them at 18 or 19.
Yep.
But 18 or 19 to 21 is not a vast difference.
Yeah.
Compared to 14 to 21.
Regardless, I still think that Spain and the USA are going to make it out of this group. I think that Hungary and Malta have put on a much better showing than I was expecting. I think Sweden has put on a worse showing than I was expecting. I think actually Sweden is really interesting. I had a good look at Sweden's lists this week. I think what Sweden have done is Sweden have allowed their players to pick their lists, and I feel like Sweden is almost playing... Sweden's players that are playing in the XTC are the best in their area, and because of that they can fly the lists that they enjoy and get away with it. What they've now done is they've come up into a zone where they are playing against the absolute best of the best every single round, instead of going to like a standard tournament where you get 4 games that are against easier competition and then you hit the top tier. And as long as you win one of those top tier games in the last couple, then you'll maybe go through. I feel like what's now happening is because you're hitting the best of the best every single game, then the holes in those lists are being slightly exposed in terms of Sweden. Because if I had a good look at Sweden's list, and there were definitely some homemade lists, if you like. They've clearly made it for a purpose. They are good at flying it, but they're not using like the most broken power combinations. And clearly there is an exception for a couple of people in that team. Nicholas is one of those, because quite frankly that scum list is one of the most disgusting things I've seen in a while. But yes, I think that's...
I will say that the current results of Sweden, I am slowly losing faith in God.
Okay, I assume you mean Nicholas?
Yes.
And yeah, go nuts. Lose all you want with Nicholas God. Then him
I mean,
top
I love
table
him,
over
but
and over again. Top 8 cuts, top 4 cuts and wins.
Yeah. Yeah, like the using Palob to make sure that Tyranny gets to double tap things and do 2 damage is an incredible use of Palob. I really respect it. Like that list is built so damn well. And then getting the double tap off, like it's so many moving parts. It's great. It is just it is just a beautiful thing to see. And yeah, also Liam is getting. I feel like his punts are getting better. Normally you expect punts to get worse, but they're actually improving. So good job. But yeah,
thank you.
I thought it was worth breaking down that USA Spain game because yeah, that could have gone the other way, and I think credit to Spain for pulling that out. I don't know if they could get away with it a second time. I think Spain needs to learn some lessons from that pairing, and America needs to learn the lessons from what Spain was allowed to do to them. Like the small mistakes that the Americans made in those games that allowed Spain to have a chance to win them, if you like. Because yes, dice come into play, but if you can stack the odds so much in your favour, then yeah, there we go. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I should what somebody said to me the other day is we all aim for the perfect game, and when you're being watched on stream by 9 or 10 of your teammates and colleagues
Yes.
who are calling every single move perfectly, I don't know if it's even, well, it's close to impossible for the concept of he flew that without a single flaw.
Yeah. Like
when you get to the highest high end, a 1 bank instead of a 1 straight literally could end the entire tournament if it was in turn 2.
Yeah, exactly. And I have done that before. I have on the first or the second turn dialed in a very slightly different maneuver and then lost the game there. When I say lost, if you think back through the decision tree of the things that you did, if you had made the 1 straight instead of the 1 bank, then it would have put you in such a better position 5 turns down the line, and therefore you could have had a much better chance at winning that game that wouldn't have had to come down to the decisions you made later on. We're never saying when we say this that, oh, you like that 1 mistake was the absolute reason you lost the game, but it causes a bit more of a domino effect, so I think it's interesting to look to that.
Yeah, Farcast, I'm speaking from a touch. I'm not convinced. Well, yeah, we'll go down there. But yes, I just want to get the highlight before it's mentioned on anybody else's stream. The US and Spain are packed with top-end, highly skilled players.
Oh, yeah.
Just leave it there.
Yeah, it is.
I don't even, like, when we've been slightly baiting them, we've never said they're bad players. I feel like they're reading in between the non-existent lines.
Well, if I'm going to be quoted, we're going to be quoted in a really straight line. Top-end players.
Yes.
Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ollie, can I cover the breakdown for C this week?
Yeah, go on. Just one thing that I want to mention before that. I feel like there have been some people on certain American streams enjoying chat and shit, which is great, and I actually quite enjoy that. Just as long as we're not going into like nonsense levels, if you like. I mean, the whole idea of this stream is that we're having a bit of fun. Like, if anyone has met me at a tournament or anything else, then clearly I'm not normally a person to chat shit and throw shade at anyone. I'm normally very friendly, but this is a fantastic opportunity to spice this up and do fun for the XTC. What I don't want to do is I don't want to encourage people to get into what is quite frankly a bit of a trend on YouTube at the moment of just flaming people for being really, really bad. Because when they're clearly not, they're making, if you have a look at as Connor said, the perfect game, and you can always have a look at it and go, oh, you could have done that slightly better. And when you're playing against someone who is also incredible, making a small mistake and then losing in a nasty, nasty game, which makes you look bad, but then you were playing against a ridiculously good player in the first place. Just be kind to each other and appreciate the fact that the shit talk is all in good taste. And if we just remember that Raithos is a coward and his captain didn't give him the opportunity to play me, and that's fine. Should have held him in.
Carson, I promise you, the shit talk won't be stopping. as long as everybody keeps the mentality of, well, how Canada and Ireland are treating it. So, on to that note,
Do you want to do
Group
Group C?
C.
All right, let's do Group C.
I will certainly let you take it at the end. Finland take a very well-deserved win over Ireland from a 3-1 down to a 4-3 win. Now, I can talk every match out, but what the fuck's the point? They win. And they have upset the apple cart and made a lot of friends in Canada. So, the way this now goes, and I'll do a quick mention out to Nick, who did ionize Ray off the board on full health. Well, minus one.
Yeah, she took one shield and went straight off the board.
Which was hilarious. So, we've got a very clear path in this now. Group C is very straightforward. Ireland beat the Philippines or they're out. Simple. Dead easy. Don't need to fucking mess about that anymore. And if Ireland are out, it opens the door for Finland and Philippines to pull in. If Ireland beat the Philippines, this second place will come down with almost no question to Ireland versus Canada in round 6.
Yep.
And if Ireland beat Canada, we go through. If Canada beat Ireland, they go through. We're now 18 and 17. We're dead even neck and neck. That'll be the cut run of it.
It's one big spicy meatball.
I'm still operating under the assumption that both Canada and England lose, or Canada and Ireland lose to England. But yes, it is entirely unacceptable by either of us taking a game off England, and then it must be revisited.
Yeah, of course.
But my take on it is quite straightforward. This is now a fight if Ireland can beat the Philippines.
Yeah. And
should beat the Philippines.
If England, on the subject of upsetting apple carts, apart from the hot sauce thing, if England lose to either Canada or Ireland, then that flips it the other way. Because Canada have messed up already because they've lost to Croatia, right? But if England mess up and loses to one of you guys, then that flips it the other way.
I don't genuinely think that is likely. Now, Canada did exactly what I said they were going to do after they lost their round to Croatia. Yeah. And their 70+% win ratios per player have now come back into play.
Yes.
And they went from losing round 1 to a roughly a second, third equal. I mean, they're a game up. But they've went from a loss run up to that point, and we had a 4-3 loss to Finland. So it's gonna be a really interesting round 6, I think. Now, if I'm sitting here next Sunday and we've lost to the Philippines, then I will have considerably less interest in where everything else goes from that point.
Yeah, then you're gone. Also, yes, 1-2 percolate indeed. If anyone can't read Finnish, then to Philip said yksi kaksi perkele. And hopefully Twitch doesn't hate Finnish swear words. I think we're fine. We swear enough on here anyway.
England beat Canada. Ireland are not through because Canada can beat us. And England can beat us.
Yes, absolutely. But this is the thing. So if we beat Canada, then Canada are on 2 losses. Now, if Canada beat Ireland, and we assume that England beats Ireland, then it comes down to points difference between Canada and Ireland. That's the real kicker. So realistically, for Ireland, as Connor is saying, if Ireland guarantees their slot, essentially, if they can win their week 6, assuming obviously they beat the Philippines. That's the whole idea.
5 and 6 in a row, 100%.
Yeah. Because Canada's dropped that game against Croatia, as long as by we I mean England, as long as we sit on Canada's face in this week. Hey Canada, enjoy that image. Then you're gonna hopefully just be able to lose one and get away with it.
And if we're sitting here next week and Canada has beaten England and Ollie's in agony, and we beat the Philippines, then we're going to have to fight our ass off against England. But yeah, I will stop placing bets on green.
Yeah,
Ollie, if you lose the worst version of my list, I will do a lot of violence upon your face.
Oh dear. So yeah, we have just done the pairings, and for anyone that didn't spot the little bit backwards and forwards between myself and Raithos over the past few weeks, I have really been enjoying doing a bit of backs and forwards because I've been calling Raithos' list the bad version of Ray and Poe for a little while now. Is it bad? I'm not sure. It's interesting. It's got a very nice trick to it. For anyone that doesn't know the trick, it's that Rey gets a reinforce and then passes off her deplete from patience back to the shuttle. What you lose for it, though, is you really do lose a lot of mobility. You lose the ability to take target locks for free because obviously Rose isn't a crew and you don't have Corsella, so I feel like it loses too much. It gains the ability to joust swarms, but I still don't think the swarm that you keep Rey alive long enough. You're still 11 hull. It's essentially the whole print. It would have been just as good to not have the reinforced deflectors and put Patience with Holdo on something else, and then you could have still had Rose and Corsella. So if you just took a random pod with Amal and Holdo and just allowed Rey to pass the deplete off. But then, yeah. Anyway, it's an interesting list, but yeah, sure. Just don't pair versus swarms. I feel like after how many rounds, you should have worked out now that you don't get what you want in the pairings game. You can get certain things, but not everything that you want.
While we're here and remain in here, I'm betting that the next 3 up are 8s, so this is somewhat prevalent. We say goodbye to Wales and Colombia's chances of getting into the finals.
We do. So I think based on this week, because obviously we did do a bit of the breakdown of this week. So Canada, Colombia. Shout out to Colombia and to Canada. That was not pretty for anyone involved. Good job, Canada. And unlucky Colombia. Colombia's improvement every week stopped when they hit Canada. Fair play.
Well, hopefully this is definitely a pick yourself up and fly. I've got a South American country I have every intention of talking about at some length as we go on to this one. But Colombia have just been... Colombia are very quick story. I went to the New Zealand versus Canada rugby game, and Canada came to play, learn, and have fun. They went into the room, they met the All Blacks, they had a blast. They tried to get a bit better. They were not beating the Kiwis.
No.
If we put the hockey sticks in the Kiwis' hands... they wouldn't be beating Canada, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Colombia have come to have fun and play and pick up, and they've been charming opponents for everybody. So
Colombia strike me as the team that take a camper van to the Gumball 2000 rally
and have a very good time.
But then they put a football on the ground, and all us weird, skinny, white, pale, ice cold fuckers just watch them dance around.
Yeah. And also, shout out to David, because I think a murder has been committed against Raithos in the chat. Apparently, he's just looked at Raithos' list and it can be best described as cute. So that's a big oof. And there we go. Apparently, I don't need to bring the spice this week because the chat's doing it for me. So
it's getting hotter, man. It really is.
It is.
The chat is getting angry.
It is. The chat is getting angry, and I'm just going to bring something up because I posted this before, but I enjoy this one. So we're just going to...
I mean, the chat's not getting angry at me. That's a change.
I'm sorry. But we have done this 3 times in a row, so I thought it was appropriate to make a meme of it this time.
That's beautiful.
It's pretty.
You're such an arse.
Yeah, I made it myself as well, which makes it even worse, right?
Are you not going to show my Photoshop talents, are you?
Hey, Marcel Manzano has just walked in.
I considered showing Liam's Photoshop talents, but it may have caused an international incident, so
right.
I decided not to.
Point out that big props to the guys at Fly Better, because I posted my Photoshop in a comment section and it did not get removed.
I am shocked.
Okay, brief run. Marcel Manzano just showed up. Marcel, firstly, very significant congratulations on your win today.
Yes.
And secondly, I only needed one more win to actually meet you there.
Yeah.
And I was looking forward to it.
Connor really wanted it. And hey, Nick. And yeah, shout out to Marcel. Marcel is an amazing human. Haven't actually been too mean to him this round. And if you get the opportunity to watch it, I think it's fair that USA are making it out, and I think you got the loss at exactly the right time because it allows you to learn from it. So There we go. All right, I'll take the whales baiting off the screen, so we'll get rid of that.
Screw whales. Screw whales.
There we go.
They're the worst.
But yeah, in terms of this, yeah, it's 6-1, and shout out to Paul for getting thrown fully under the bus this round, but he took it well and almost won it anyway, so that was fine.
Andros Connor is commentating. Yes, that is me.
Yes.
Today.
Yes. There we go. Yeah, just Dace Tell. Also, if anyone didn't spot the fact that he had Cutthroat and could therefore technically get Tell up to 16 health, then good job. Good job. Okay, and the what was the last one in this one? Philippines Croatia, which was close. That was close.
Yeah, which makes me a little bit worried because I was kind of hoping Croatia would just 7 out of them.
4-3. So I mean, like it looked like it was going to be a stomp because they went 4-0 up early. Turns out they got all of their good matchups out the way and then proceeded to lose their last 3. But as long as you like, if anyone's seen Cars, that one where he sticks his tongue out over the line, that was basically Croatia and then proceeded to lose the last 3. So he got there. Good job, match here. Right then. See, Paul, how can you let me do the whole we're really, really good at this when you actually tell the truth in streams that, yeah, you got played by a very good opponent. Anyway, it's fine. So yeah, Group C was fun. Group C this week.
Group C is going to end in a format next week.
Yes.
Or it's not. It's either going to be all down to week 6 or dreams will be shattered.
Yes.
I mean, if we're going to expect that Canada is going to lose, if they don't, then Ireland are out. So our hands are currently in England's hands as well, which is never a fun place to be. It's not gone well in the past. There was an occupation, 6 countries, etc., etc. So revisit this one next Sunday and see where we are.
On the subject of international relations.
Hey, I'm the only Irish person in here. It's fine. And the rest will just be laughing.
Also true.
I have an Irish name. I could have played for Ireland.
So, in case anybody on the stream doesn't know this, Liam is a little upset he's not playing in the XTC.
I don't think we covered that in any of the previous however many episodes.
No, I believe my milkman knows that. Yeah, Cam, trust me, I have every intention of making our best fucking swing at this.
Yeah.
But they're really decent jammy bollockses.
Emphasis on the jammy. It's fine. To be fair, I'm looking forward to smacking around some fire spray this week. It's going to be fun. Right, what we got? And yeah, on the
Are you playing double fire spray?
God, no.
No, he's playing the worst version of my list.
I am. It doesn't have ensnare. That means that I'm actually quite looking forward to it. What is it? It's
I was about to say, otherwise nobody looks forward to that.
Grievous, Grievous, Nantex, and Zam.
I love you, Andy. I'm just hating on the separatist list because it's worse than mine, and I feel personally attacked by the choice of the upgrades.
Guys, we're clearly on the rabbit hole here. Let's move into the 2 really interesting ones, shall we?
Okay.
Andy said he loves me.
Who doesn't, Liam? Who doesn't?
So
my parents.
There's a thing. Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, would anybody not like to also put Liam into XTC, but also adopt him?
I mean,
I'm 29, but yes.
He's 29 and a very large man.
He's the same age as me. Look at that.
I probably weigh 2 of you though, Ollie.
Doubt that.
I'm 20 stone.
Yep, still not 2 of me.
4 pounds.
Still not 2.
Okay, I've lost 10 pounds.
Hey.
That's good.
No, I'm. What am I at the moment? I think about 14.
Right. Okay, you 2, rabbit hole, Group B.
Oh, but do we have to talk about Germany? I think we do.
No,
I was
we
about
don't
to
have to
say,
talk about Germany, because what we can talk about is, and I got a lecture from South America about this. A lecture where they're like, all our best players aren't playing on TTS. All our best players aren't playing off. The only exception is the powerhouse in Latin America. That was the phrase. The powerhouse of Peru. and they were distinct about the fact that everybody's not only sleeping on it, nobody's even fucking noticing they're there. But
Yep.
are we noticing they're there at 4-0?
Yeah, we are. We are. And so there was a small conversation that we had last week about how good do we really think Peru is? Are they actually that good? Probably not. We'll see after they play Germany. And
Everybody says.
we saw after they played Germany. Turns out, woohoo! Let's deal with this one first because this is fun.
Well, I am being specifically instructed to advise this stream from my point of view anyway, Connor, the guy who's not on Ollie's name, that this is not an upset. This was two top teams facing off.
Yes. And looks like Peru got it. Looks like Peru. What? I cannot find this. What the hell?
Peru bringing.
Oh, there we go. Peru, Germany. So have we not played the last one?
Oh, they have. It's 4-3.
Oh yeah, I was expecting if it was going to go the other way, I was expecting 4-3, but actually ended up 5-2.
Sorry, my thing's not updating.
Well, there we go. There we go. Yeah.
Thank you, Chopper.
That's a big result, and it's what I'm curious about is there have been a couple of people saying this, so I haven't had a good enough look at all of Germany's lists to say it myself, but there's been a couple of people saying that some of the big teams, maybe Poland, maybe Germany, were not bringing their absolute A game and having a bit of a play around with lists for finals, just expecting to be able to go through on player skill. I don't know the truth of that, but I feel like Germany maybe.
Yeah, there's a couple of lists. I'm not going to name who they are, but one has got some tweaks in it, which are probably suboptimal, but are a preference. And one player is just playing nonsense.
Yeah.
And trusting on exceptional player skill.
Yeah. And
hold on, you're not saying the lists, but are you calling out Funwalk and Timo Rob there?
No, you are.
Yeah, to be fair,
Yep, that's true.
Timo did fly an IG off the board. To be fair to Timo, after having played against the IGs this round, they are not as garbage as I was expecting.
No, but they shouldn't be anywhere near. You don't have the phrase "not as garbage as I was expecting" in a fucking XTC list.
Again, with the having conversations about taking lists that we talked about when we talked about Sweden, taking lists that are good, probably like high B maybe A tier, and shout out to Dan because I really want to try that list, but it's not the nonsense BS levels of broken that you should probably be bringing to this tournament. So there we go.
The German lists are just like everyone else's, except you have to yell them out. Yeah, I think this is still going to close out. I think Peru has put all queries to rest.
Yeah.
They've beaten the next contender. It looks like this is not a group of death. This is a group of walking out. Realistically, it should be Germany and Peru.
Yeah, it should be. As long as Germany don't mess up, I think Peru could. I mean, if we have a look at their last few rounds, Peru have South Africa, Ukraine, and Lithuania. I think they should
7th,
be
8th,
able.
and 4th in order.
I think they should be able to 7-0 this, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to do that now. Now, I'm going to quote Rich Pauly because he made a really good point. Germany is going to have done exactly what you just said, and they're going to make it through the finals, and they're going to come with between 5 and 7 new lists.
Yeah, Germany is going to turn around and go, all right, boys, let's come to play.
Timo's OP IGs are not very correct. When Timo is in the finals, you'll get Timo Rab back.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah. Who will beat Peru now? I don't see... If Peru can take out Germany, I don't see anyone taking them out, realistically.
Andy, Funwalk's list is not bad or whack. It's just, I in my opinion, it's suboptimal. And in Resistance X-Wings, optimal is quite easy to achieve.
Yeah. Asgal calling it out. If there was anyone that was going to do it, then I think Team Lithuania Latvia could do, because they look like the strongest out of these last three.
Scotland have been really, really fighting too, and I'll give it to them.
They have been.
The way these matches are going to fall from this point up, you'll have to hurt Germany because you can no longer hurt Peru. Peru come out 1 or 2, it doesn't really matter, they're coming out. So it's a fight between Scotland and Lithuania to try and knock Germany off its
Yeah.
perch.
And we could, we could see an upset in between Germany now. If Scotland and Lithuania come out properly swinging, could that be a thing? Right, Charles Bladder again. Have a little bit of a. There we go. Let's leave the standings up, because who do you think is gonna come last in this group?
You're going to go to the bathroom, and so we don't go to like A without you, because that would really upset you. Has he gone? Yeah, he totally has. Okay, guys, we're going to really, really quickly cut. We're not going to touch A. He would literally break his heart. No.
Ukraine are going to come last, I think.
So who do you think is going to come last? Is it the team that's currently 0-4? What do you guys think?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Could be a
I
team
mean, Peru could clinch it.
I mean, but I don't know how Peru really get to bottom of this table, so they're probably out. Germany can come last. Still possible, but probably not. Yeah, this is Ollie really, really wanting to cover A, and me and Liam having to entertain you until he comes back.
Yeah.
And Andy, well, we could have discussed the interrelationships between Canada and Ireland, which have been super exciting. Vaguely threatening, fluffy as hell. Vaguely threatening, fluffy as hell. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I will say I'm a big fan of Andy, because he's also here to perpetuate my North Mexico, South Canada renaming of the USA.
Ollie has just returned, and we should probably tell him we've covered Group A, so we can probably just move on.
Yeah, Poland suck.
Good to know. Good to know. But no,
dude, we haven't touched Group A. We didn't go there.
No, I'm aware. I think yeah, I think on this one I expect Germany to come second, but there is a chance now for. I feel like based on what we've seen, if Scotland have woken up, then maybe. But I think Lithuania have more of a chance.
Scotland. Every time I've seen Scotland fought really hard and really prepped and are really working at it, they don't have the player base to take on. Well, again, I don't know much about Peru except the fact that I keep playing one player who's lovely. But every other South American player I am friends with is telling me Peru are a powerhouse.
Yes.
And like really good South American players who are telling me Peru are better than them.
Yes, which is good to know. And I think so. This is something I was saying in different chats this week. Is what I want to do. So I think Peru have now lost the. They've lost the element of surprise. Because if anyone wasn't taking them seriously before, god damn, they're going to be taking them seriously now. So, I mean, I think
it's too late. They're already in.
But no, I think that's not for this. That's nothing to do with the groups. I think they're going to smash the groups. I'm really curious to see now. I think it is a bad thing to say that people wouldn't be taking them seriously in the first place, right? However, there is an argument that people might be relying on player skill and pairings, right? So they might have an opportunity to do a bit more of a 50-50 pairing, but saying, oh no, that's fine because my player's better than your player, so we're going to win that.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas in these situations, when you have a team that is that good, you can't get away with that. You can't get away with doing that. So
nope.
If you thought that Peru were a bad team, or at least they were an average team, the caliber of teams that you're going to see in those finals, they might not have paired against Peru in a certain way. Whereas I think now Peru is on everyone's radar, and if they can take down Germany, then I think a lot of the teams that have gone into the finals would go, all right, you deserve some respect, and I'm really excited to see what happens in that, if you like. And I think there's going to be some a lot of analysis going on, certainly from myself, once we hit finals and working out who's got the best lists and what little things do we need to change, because there's always changes between now and finals.
Okay, so 2 quick points arise. I'm going to cover one on the string. Purple Dragon Knight. There are Spanish names all across the United States of America, the entire Latin America, and Spain.
Yes.
Peru as an actual identification is not so easy. The guy I keep playing against in every GSP event is Brazilian, and he's shit hot, but he has a somewhat Spanish name. And two, is there any team in Europe better known than the players for England, or any team across the water with better known players than America? Now, the reality is because we know, like I've played you, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. I've seen you play 20 times. Does my knowledge of what you would normally do in this situation make you weaker?
Yes.
And no.
Also, big shout out to One Pro Open, who also understands that Liam is a Spanish name.
It's Celtic. Moving on.
But what I think is important is that there are. So I'm going to use a self example here. For the last 2 years, I have very much struggled to fly anything without it getting noticed, right? So people, through nature of the title there, pay attention to what I'm using. They're trying to get me on streams all the time. There is the wee of, oh yeah, Ollie is a super scaredy cat player and he will take always the most conservative move every time. So every now and then when I make just the balls deep, stupid, really aggressive play, nobody's expecting it and it catches people off guard. So yes, there is an argument that you can do that to your advantage.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I played a game against yourself the other day, and I literally talked out my thought process. And I was like, well, I'm playing against you, and I don't think you will do this. But I know full well, as soon as you choose to do the complete opposite of what you normally do, I will be caught out hook, line, and sinker. It's about using your opponent's knowledge to your benefit.
Yeah, and that's the poker point of X-Wing. And yeah, like absolutely, Fate of Gain. Like how do
you don't have the ability, Ollie, to sit down at a table where your opponent will underestimate you.
No.
That is the only downside.
Yes.
If you play a perfect game, you will still win.
Yeah, but like
what they will not do is look at a 50-50 call and expect you to fly into a rock because you won't.
Or maybe I will, but that's my problem, right?
Correct.
But, yeah, and like there's that you no longer get that free pass of someone going, like I know players who turn up to tournaments with cardboard, like everything cardboard, because they don't want people to take them seriously. So, you know, I turn up to a tournament with all of the shiny acrylic because I enjoy it and it's a little bit of a power play. Like, yeah, there's both sides of the coin.
I'm spinning you a second. Finals, I don't want to let this pass. So Germany is still better than Peru because they're better known. That was not said by literally anybody.
Nope.
The opening part of this, I swear to God, if you joined the stream 30 seconds ago and came out with that, the opening part of this was that every bit of information I've received independently today is that Peru is a powerhouse in Latin American leagues, and is full of top-end players and should be properly feared.
Yep.
No one said anything like the sentence you just came out with.
Mm-hmm.
We also said in the last couple of streams that Peru were possibly the biggest team in especially Latin/South America right now, that we need to pay attention to because they will make the finals.
It's fine. I'm just super excited for seeing exactly what Peru can do now they're under the spotlight. Like they've been given their opportunity. Like here is your opportunity on a plate to smack up some kids and show exactly what you're made of. Grasp it with both hands and show the world how good Peru is. Because I can tell you what, the other teams are going to be coming at you hard, so it is the best opportunity to do that, because then like no one has an excuse in finals. If you like, it's just like, oh, I was messing around in group stages. Like Germany could still throw that out as an excuse, like with Timo playing double AG. It's like, oh yeah, they weren't taking it seriously, and some people are going to say that. Like we said that partially, that okay, maybe Germany isn't at its full strength, but if you do that to them in finals, then yeah, you smacked them. And good on you. All right, should we get on to
Okay,
the?
yeah, I say we're happy to close. We're fairly confident those are two going through.
Yeah.
And Ollie, I think it's only fair that you take this one.
All right, so let's have a look. First, we're going to do the standings. There are two 4-0 teams in this group.
There are.
There are two, and neither of those two teams are Poland.
No.
Neither of those two teams are Poland. I'm going to start at the bottom here. Sorry, Greece. Greece are Colombia in this situation. Greece are amazing with amazing players, and they're super, super friendly, but they're here to have a good time and enjoy the international X-Wing scene. It is great to see them back, but I don't think anyone was expecting them to really smash it. Now, in terms of...
Yes, Marcel. Yes, they did.
Yep. In terms of this week, well... Yeah, that was happening while you were winning your game, Marcel. In terms of this week and what happened, first of all, Italy versus Brasilia. That was a big oof. Italy showing that they are very much a powerhouse in this group because Brazil are pretty decent and, well, Brazil got run over harder than Singapore beat them.
This is the group of death. I'm sorry, D,
No,
but this is the group of death.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
Clearly, it is now the group of death.
It's
because
the
a
group
team that
that
was
has
not expected is 4-0.
It's the group that has three incredible teams in it. The reason that Group D isn't the group of death is because Australia didn't show up.
That is completely true. Whereas Singapore did.
Oh yeah, Singapore are here to play. They are here to play.
Najeth, we started at Group E. Sorry,
we started at Group E. So go back and watch it. It's all on YouTube. It's fine. But yeah, so in terms of Italy Brazil, Italy-Brazil went as expected. Greece versus Singapore. Where is that one? Everything's all a mess. Where is Greece, Singapore? Sure.
Well, you find it while I cover the chat yet again.
Yeah.
We did not fucking write off Singapore. We simply propped the top two expected teams in this group are the two ones who came in at A and B to begin with.
Yep.
At 1 and 2 to begin with. Singapore were drawn into this group.
Yes.
Out of a hat, out of a bag, out of it with a magic ball. Therefore, we were expecting that Italy and Poland would be the two powerhouses.
And shout out to XY, who is in the chat, because essentially they got dumped into probably two of the scariest teams in Europe, right? Italy and Poland at the XTC have been there for years. They're very, very good at this, and I was expecting Singapore to get a nasty wake-up call. And when we started off, yeah, I was expecting them to just be gone. I was expecting them to be like, very unfortunate, you're going to come third, but sorry. And I think Carson in the chat is exactly right, is that they have come to play as a team. And I feel like Poland had a bit of a mental boom after last week losing to Singapore, and just this week didn't happen for them. But beforehand, shout out to Greece for almost beating Singapore.
Exactly.
Maybe XY was a little bit panicked there. That could have just handed.
I didn't want to say this, but that does shake like the concept of I can't Malaysia, Singapore, we're kicking ass. Like yes, but the team that nobody expected to go anywhere nearly took you out.
And what is super, super important here, and it is super, super important, is that if things had gone as expected and Poland had not dropped that round to Denmark, Singapore was basically gone. Because they're like the Poland and the Italy points difference, game difference, their individual game wins was so high at this point, and Singapore's was not, that they just wouldn't be able to top it. Even if they drew with whichever one came second, then they were just out on game wins. Whereas now, as long as Singapore don't drop a round, as long as Italy don't drop another round, it doesn't matter what happens against each other. That's your throwaway, whichever one can lose. But This is where it gets interesting because also I might as well do the boring one. I say boring. Shout out to Louis. I love Louis. It was so close. Louis had a game that he almost won to beat the Czech Republic. He was the 7th game, and shout out to the Czech. Had a really good round against Malaysia there. But let's have a look at this. Norway, Poland.
Yeah. So this didn't go down well with one country, and went down very well with the other.
Oh, did I say Denmark?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, God's sake!
Right.
It's just because I really like Denmark. I think
You did it last week as well.
Yeah. If I was going to move to a country in Europe, apart from England, then I would probably go to Denmark because whilst I can speak French, it would be nice to Copenhagen is just an amazing city. Norway is just too cold. So yeah, Poland are in trouble.
Poland are in trouble.
There's absolutely no way Poland should have lost this week, but they did.
I mean,
so if we just ran this out that the teams that were statistically better than every other team were going to make it through, then all of this would be really dull.
It would be, and this is when it gets super interesting because Enzaru in the chat is absolutely right. Poland are not dead. Just through the nature of us expecting that Singapore and Italy are going to win all of their games, but we were expecting Poland to beat Norway. So I think what this now comes down to, obviously Poland have to win their next few rounds, right? So they're playing Brazil, they're playing Greece, and then they're playing Italy. So it still holds that final week against Italy is going to be a really, really big week. And if Poland can bring back 3 wins in a row, then they leave the opportunity for one of these other guys to drop a game. And I can't see it being Italy. Sorry, XY.
Here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Singapore are playing Malaysia,
yeah,
and Czech Republic as 2 of those matchups.
Yeah.
Now the other one is Italy, but Poland are in real. Poland require a huge reverse on Singapore.
So this is where we're going to have to start to look at game wins, right? So let's have a proper look at Group A. Because that's a really big number. Italy, in 4 rounds, bearing in mind that there are 28 games played in 4 rounds, Italy
6.3.
Italy
Wonderful.
have lost 3 games so far.
The highest number in all of the XTC groups, isn't it? Because USA slipped up.
Oh, Flipster. Flipster makes a very valid point here.
Yeah, he does.
But it upsets me that this happens, right? Everybody gets so defensive about the countries we're not speaking about. There is nothing negatively being said about Norway, and complete kudos for knocking down a giant, but it was a David and Goliath matchup. In order to take any form of credit, you must understand it's a David and Goliath matchup, and you were David in the scenario. So exceedingly well done. The upset, as it were, is that one of the teams that were pegged for the top 10 is now in very serious difficulty. And as specifically said, Singapore has to beat Italy for Poland to then beat Italy.
Yeah.
Now they know that is a nightmare.
Yeah. The advantage that you have got is at least Poland are within striking range of Italy. They do have 19 wins, bearing in mind they have lost 2 rounds.
Which is such a sweet 19 wins with 2 losses shows just how hard fought those were and how big their wins were.
Yeah. And what you need from Singapore, so Poland's fate basically rests in Singapore's hands. Either Singapore loses a round, and therefore Italy loses against the Czech Republic or against the Malaysians.
Malaysia. Now, it's not very likely it's going to be Malaysia giving their run.
True, but
So Czech Republic holds a very significant factor there.
correct. So
Italy's not a front runner.
You-
Italy's in.
you say this, but Malaysia, Czech Republic literally came down to the last game. I think either of them, they're neither of them are likely to beat Singapore, but they could. I mean, if you compare Italy against Greece, Italy stomped Greece 7-0. Singapore against Greece went 4-3. Now, it's very, very difficult to say, okay, this team is better than that team, etc., etc. But Italy were very much on top of Greece. Whereas, there we go. So, yeah, it's an interesting question here. I think for Poland still have hope, but as I said, it rests on Singapore. Either Singapore have to lose to, and then Poland can beat them on points difference. I think that is the more likely way of Poland getting through. Alternatively, Singapore have to turn it up and stomp on Italy, and then Poland stomp on Italy. I think it's unlikely.
I think Italy gets to play England here. England get to play Italy. Whichever way around you want to play it. Those guys just get to be the 7-0s. And you're playing for second place now.
Well, I feel like this is going to be the 6-1, actually. I feel like Poland are going to get last round revenge against
Italy. Italy?
Yeah, when
they don't that's
care.
a hard chat, not tactical run.
No,
because as we pointed out in the chat, 25 wins from Italy.
Yeah, but I don't think... I think what's going to happen is that if Italy beats Singapore, then they're 6-1 and they're through, right?
No, you cannot have two 7-0s, but you can when they're in different groups, my friend.
Yes. So I think what's going to happen is that I think Italy are going to want to beat Poland, but if Italy beats Singapore, then the last round is almost a whatever. If Singapore gets beaten by someone else and Italy have the chance to put Poland out of the tournament, then they'll probably try and beat Poland, because
I can't see anyone getting out of that group that isn't Italy and Singapore now.
The path that's the path to victory for Poland is very clear.
Yes,
and it requires hurdle after hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. Their chances of getting out now are 3 crits.
Nah.
One roll.
I think that they are in other people's hands. And that's the problem.
Which is the issue.
Yeah, their fate is no longer in their hands. They rely on other people to mess up. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, shout like.
Who does Norway have left?
Who does Norway have left? Well, let's have a look at the schedule, shall we?
Yep.
In where were
Italy.
we?
Italy this round.
Yeah. So Norway plays Italy.
Malaysia, followed by Brazil.
Norway plays Malaysia. Norway plays Brazil.
So veteran instincts. I think, is that full on? Veteran instincts?
Yeah, that is full on.
Okay, so they have to. Well, let's put it this way: we'll know at the end of round 5, because if they lost Italy, they're no longer a factor.
Yeah.
Although again, Flipster, full credit for the run.
Yep, and if you can beat Italy, then.
You can beat Italy. You can decide to take this entire group and throw it out the window.
This is entertaining if you beat Italy, but well, we're back to where we started. If you beat Italy, because then it's still the same fight, and then Singapore just cruises through to wins. But yeah, I think that's this week's big upset. Obviously, Germany losing to Peru was a decent smack, but Poland could just be out of the tournament here. Because
they almost certainly are, but they've got no choice but to keep playing. It could happen.
Yeah,
but it's so many horrible ways for it to work.
All you can do as Poland is utterly stomp on your next 3 rounds, because it's going to come down to game difference, and the biggest game difference that you can get as Poland, the more chance you have for getting out. So, yeah.
Actually, the best chance you have is it coming down to game difference.
Exactly. So Poland need to continue their strengths that they showed in the first 3 weeks, and continue just crapping on people.
Full on, you are pure banter. Poland play Brazil, Poland play Greece, and then Poland play Italy. So very similar.
Yeah. So, if we have a look across the tournament, Italy is sitting top. But I think there is a good reason for that. If you have a look at if you have a look at the two teams that are top on wins at the moment, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and shit on my own country for a little bit. England and Italy are on 23 and 25 respectively. We are sitting at the top, but we have not played the other scary teams in our group yet, basically. For us, we have Canada and Ireland to go in the last few weeks. For Italy gets to play Singapore and Poland in the last 2 weeks. And they also get to play Norway. Shout out to Norway. Otherwise, Phillips is going to get annoyed again.
I mean, you're not wrong. Italy does have a run of potential losses. It could happen.
It could. And Italy could lose 2 games, and then suddenly that definitely comes down to points difference.
Maybe I'm being a little unfair on Poland because they are the team that do have the player strength to beat Italy.
They do. And if anyone is going to beat Italy in this group, I think it's Poland.
I think Singapore
or Norway, just
out of it either.
Not out.
So we could be seeing a Singapore 7-0 and then seeing everyone else fall. It's just a brilliant group to watch and keep tabs on, to be honest.
Yeah, because if Italy lose their last 2 weeks, then it comes down to a fight between Italy and Poland.
Yep.
And that is against 2 of the teams who have the strongest game difference in the entire tournament. So this is basically a game of who can kick the small person the hardest from Italy and Poland.
I can kick Tom Reed really hard.
He is also quite small. Fair enough.
He looks pretty built though in the pictures.
Oh yeah, the man used to be in the army for quite a few years, and he used to play in the army rugby team as well. So
when you say kick him, you mean break your foot on him?
Yeah, pretty much. He is small enough to headbutt you in the testicles very, very easily. He just needs to bend over very slightly.
I heard he chews as well.
Right.
Well, he was definitely.
Do I have time to grab a drink before we proceed to the?
Yeah, go on.
The matchups.
Go on. Right then, let's just quickly go through the general Paul shitting on people in the chat. I feel like someone kicked Paul's puppy this week. He's being very grumpy at me. But yeah, that's fair. Someone's got to keep my head in place.
Paul didn't reply to my Discord message, so fuck you, Paul.
Well,
and the Flying Mighty is sitting in the chat.
He is.
Hi, Vince. Missed you.
Oh, we like Vince. Liam enjoys winding up Vince, but we like Vince.
To be fair, I saw him on the Candy Clarinetist. I started, and he was like, "Please no, man." Trying hours are between this time and this time. I was like, "I'll come back later then."
Yeah.
So fair play to him.
His secretary responded, "Please, you're not important enough to have a secretary." To be fair, he is actually important. He is actually important enough to have a secretary. The man actually does quite a nice job. So
I'll be a secretary. I'm looking for work.
God, yeah. Hopefully that's going okay. I mean, we probably shouldn't discuss that on the internet. So there we go.
That's true.
Yeah, still underestimating Singapore's depth. Cool. Yes.
I really do like Singapore in this because we all slept on them. We started to keep an eye on them going, no, because they've got XY and he's very familiar with this format. And they have proved we were wrong.
Yeah.
And I know it's not an underdog story because they are really good players, but it kind of has that element.
Yeah, I think there's... I think if you were to look at the 2 teams that have made the biggest splash, Peru, first of all. Peru was the one that I don't think anyone from this side of the world was expecting.
Yes, that is true. Can we do this one in actually a point, right? Because it's a really interesting point. X-Wing is broken into 4 distinct subcontinents.
Okay.
North America,
Yep.
comprising Canada and the US.
Yep.
South America,
Yep.
comprising half a dozen nations that play
Yep.
at this level. Europe, encompassing the United Kingdom and Ireland.
Yep.
And then, say, the vast majority of Asia combining Australia.
You can kind of say Oceania, right? That
Oceania.
area.
Perfect. Oceania. Yeah. So because we all used to play on tables, and then we moved on to the internet, and
Mhm.
time zones are a factor.
Yep.
It has to be accepted that people in Europe, i.e., me, Ollie, and Liam, do not know much about South America.
No. And it's interesting because I end up playing against a lot of the American crowd because I play online, and I have been playing online for years at this point. I think when did I start playing on Vassal? So like I've been playing on Vassals for about 5 years now. And because of that, and because of the time that I tend to play online, I actually get more games against the American people than I do against the Europe people, because I start most of my games at 11 p.m. at night. Because of that, I feel like I know the North Americans, but also I haven't bumped into many South American players. I think a lot of them were playing in their local bubble. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, and I agree with you in terms of those areas. I feel like those areas are getting smaller now that International X-Wing has happened. Yeah, I feel like those areas have got smaller because Europe and North America have kind of overlapped in terms of what they're doing, and there's still a little bit of separation for the South Americans. Obviously, you have the Lima Open, and a lot of people from around the world played in that, and I would say that that's the breakthrough. But yeah, if we have a look before the tournament, and this is actually in response to earlier, just look for Purple Dragon. Just look for the Spanish names. There is a lot of people with Spanish names from all around the world. Spanish is one of the most popular languages in the world. So just because it's a Spanish name doesn't necessarily mean it comes from South America or Mexico. Let's not do the geography faux pas like we did last time. So yeah, I think it's interesting to see that we don't know enough. And I think that's the thing. Going into this tournament, we had no information on South America, really, apart from the Lima Open, and then you couldn't really base it off that. So
Lima Open, GSP, Galaxy's events. Some names keep popping up. Some names do not make a team.
yes,
There are always American names that pop up more than you could ever put in a team, but that's not surprising because the vast majority of the original Galaxies were based on those sort of fair time zones. Or very pro-European time zones, and most of the people I met were Italian or Polish or Spanish.
yeah,
But they were still segregated by the 24-hour clock.
yes,
we're always going to pick up on American names because, let's be honest, the main perpetuators of X-Wing are Gold Squadron podcast. And as I mentioned, like in one of the other roundups, that because there isn't that known streamers of South American X-Wing, that we don't see a lot of them, and we do see these names crop up.
yeah,
And we're only exposed to our own time zone X-Wing, really, aren't we? So like, I will watch several X-Wing streams.
Yeah, like a
that
3
are
or 4 hour
European
thing.
based.
Most people are either on. Sorry, I just cut you off. I'm really sorry, but most people are either watching in the evening or watching on the weekend.
You will be sorry.
The point is, I watch at night, and when I'm watching at night, like the last game I see is Greg's game start in Nickel City.
yeah,
And Hexiled, I only get to watch Hexiled because I think Scott starts at like 1 or 2 p.m.
yeah. It's literally his job. So yeah,
But he starts
Yes.
during the day.
Scott's a hero.
So I don't.
Love Scott.
I almost never see GSP unless I'm playing their events because their time zone is out for me.
yep. So what's super interesting, and I think this is based a little bit on what Paul did say earlier about how people won't take them for granted anymore. Sort of really well clarifying what I was going to say. If when this comes around again, personally, I will no longer be taking South America lightly. And when I do this, when I prepare for tournaments, I like data. I am one of those people that will trawl through List Fortress looking at lists.
Like a physics teacher.
Yeah, exactly. And what I tend to do is you notice the names and you go, okay, good list. Why did that do well? Is it a good list or is it a good player or blah, 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 blah. And you have a look at all these tournaments and I pick as many as I can, but there is only a limited amount of data that I can look through. So I go, okay, let's scroll for the big tournaments, and I'll have a look. Okay, this one was 50 players. It was in Peru. Do I look at that as a good quality tournament with good quality players, or were there just one or two really good people who stomped everyone else, and therefore I should ignore it as an outlier? Because that's what I have been doing. Whereas now, do I actually pay attention to that as, okay, no, the quality of X-Wing is good there, and because of that, you can have a look at that list as being successful in a good competitive environment, and therefore it should be considered in something that either I should expect to come up against or I should play. And I think that's something that I'm going to start doing now. I'm going to start to pay a bit more attention to both Singaporean and South American tournaments. So I think it's good.
You'd have done the same thing when picking players for your team, though, wouldn't you? Because you go, right, then X, Y, and Z have done well in this tournament, but it was a local tournament of 16 people, whereas you have your bigger name players like Tom Reed who will come top 16 in a 400-plus tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to disregard certain information just because of the population of the tournament.
But that's 2 points, right? Some guys, some players just rise to the top. Like Actor Khan, Australia, right? I know his name before. I've never met him. I've never spoken to him. Never played against him. I know his name.
Yep.
Right. Some players just rise to the top, and some players stay there. Some names you just know, regardless of where they're from.
Yes.
There are just big names somewhere, but it's specific to the point that if we go back to my 4-quadrant ideas, I discovered there's a Spanish league, and my first thought was, "Fucking hell, am I an arrogant son of a bitch?" There are multiple UK leagues being run.
Yeah.
Multiple events that are almost all English players with a smattering of Irish, Scottish, and Welsh.
Yep.
And one notable Maltese. Of course there fucking is.
Yeah, there's a load of Spanish leagues. And I think what is important to look at is going, all right, where can I get this data from? So when I search on List Fortress, I do not search by name at all. I put X-Wing 2nd edition in, and then I go on tournament size. And anything that's above 50 players, I will open and have in a new tab for trawling through the data. And if it's above 50 players, I consider that a big enough tournament to be worth looking at, if you like. And it doesn't matter where in the world those tournaments come from. But one thing that I think I should do is I should maybe cherry pick certain countries. So was that tournament played in Spain? Was that tournament played in Poland? Because if it only had 24 people, but it was played in Poland in an area that I know 20 out of the 24 players, well, there we go.
It's data.
Yeah, it's good data. So anyway, that's sort of a background, and it all started from saying which teams were sort of the surprises from the tournament. And I think Singapore was one that everyone had an eye on but didn't know how good they were. Peru was the actual surprise for most of us.
Mr. Colton raises a point, won't brought open in the chat, which we've pulled stats on all our opponents from their online plays.
Yep.
To gauge the matchups, right?
Yep.
But Canada was the eye opener for me. I played a lot of Canadian players. I love playing Canadians. I have a really good win rate against Canada. It does sound vaguely coincidental, but when they pulled up, their stats were all 70 plus, and they're all playing online every week.
Yep.
If you do the same thing let's go pick a player in Peru and go and have a look and see what he's doing. His TTO will give you the last 4, I think it is.
5.
Let's see what it looks like. 5? Let's see what it looks like. Oh, he played a 150-person tournament. He came 8th. You know?
Yep. Exactly. It's interesting. Yeah, like ETC Singapore is well known as a good tabletop gaming country. It's like Poland and Singapore and Australia have been 3 of the big ones. Okay, so we tangented. I think it was an interesting tangent, but regardless, I think we should probably finish off because it is starting to get late. So let's have a look.
Do you want to do the bad predictions for next week or not?
I think you'll find that all of my predictions are good. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, let's have a look at next week for all of the teams though. So we're going to start off with A. Sorry, Flipstep, you are getting screwed next week. I think Italy are going to run you over because I think Italy are going to run everyone over at this point. They have showed really, really good results. I really want to watch their games in weeks 6 and 7 because honestly, I want to see if anyone can touch them.
However, you did beat Poland,
Yeah,
so we're going to give you an outside chance.
I'm not, but Connor is.
Oh, fair enough. I'm going to call Norway for this round.
Yeah,
I've been kicking your ass, I might as well.
I don't mind annoying Norway. I like the Norwegians, but I don't think they have a chance here. Poland, Brazil. I think Poland are angry. They're going to bounce back, and they're going to try and get as many wins as possible. I'm calling this a 6-1.
I'd like to hope Poland are managing to keep cohesion because there was a lot of rage in that stream tonight.
Oh yeah. So I think that all Poland have to do is they have to turn around and they have to say, look, we're not dead. We have an opportunity. If we bring this back, everything is forgotten because it doesn't matter as long as you make finals. So I think Poland are going to come back angry and they're going to go 6-1 this week. Greece again.
I'm going to sign off.
Hmm?
I'm going to sign off on that concept. Also,
Yeah.
apologies. But yes, Czech Republic. Poland is hoping a 7-0 here to Czech Republic.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and Malaysia, Singapore. Yeah, I think Singapore have got that.
Yeah,
Malaysia can
I'm
somehow
going.
upset the cart there. That'll be really exciting next Sunday.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
Italy, Poland, Czech Republic, and Singapore for me.
Yes. No, for sure. All right, Germany, New Zealand. I think
Yeah, this one's relatively easy across the board, to be honest.
Germany back to stomping.
Germany,
Scotland.
Germany,
should beat
Scotland.
Iceland.
Peru, no idea.
Germany, Scotland, Peru, Lithuania.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's Group B has an easy week in terms of games. I don't think anyone is surprising. This one's fun.
Nobby, PM me and I'll run you through everything we just said, or just watch the video later.
Yes, for sure. So
England, Ireland, Colombia, because
Ooh.
you Wales, and Croatia.
I think Finland.
Okay. England, I'm going to call Ireland because if we don't, there's no point playing this anymore. Wales and Finland, no other question in my mind.
You
I'm
back Wales?
going to stick with you on Finland. I'm tempted to go with Colombia here. I think if Colombia are going to win one, then it's going to be this one. But we'll see. Also, Ireland no longer have the bonus of playing a team after England has done dirty on them. So maybe this week you actually have a tougher week.
Well, the reality is it's a make or break week. Full stop.
Yeah, it is. For both of you, actually.
I've got Django Zam, so yeah.
Enjoy
good
that
luck to
one.
everybody else.
You'll be fine. You got enough guns. So yeah, this one's going to be a fun one. I think Group C is an interesting week this week. Group D, well, sorry, Chile, you're going to get Spained. Hungary,
You got Spain.
Sweden's going to be fun. USA get the break, so they get to lick their wounds and work on it for next week. I think that's going to be good for the USA, actually. They're going to learn a lot from this week. Malta versus the Aussies. Come on, Malta, show us what you got.
Well, Malta are literally they're the giant posturing peacock. This is exactly as my friend says. It is your opportunity to show it.
Yes.
5-2 or bust.
Yeah. If they can do this one, then it's looking good. And then Hungary, Sweden. I think Sweden should take it, but we'll see. Hungary have been looking strong. Strong.
You're looking very swung.
Swong.
Just like your beer is rather swung.
It is very strong. It isn't. It's Krabby's and nice, tasty cider. Right, last one. The entropy. I mean, who knows at this point?
France, Japan, Switzerland, Serbia.
We don't get away with that. So Serbia, despite all of the anger they've taken from us, I am guaranteeing they win this round. Guaranteeing it. And moving on.
I'm not deserving that with a response.
Okay, France, Japan. I'm calling Denmark.
France, Japan, Switzerland. Unless the Netherlands decide to wake up, but I feel like Japan's got them. I mean, this is
Netherlands are not waking up. Either they fucked up their list, fucked up their pairings, or fucked up something else. They're not waking up. What Japan are.
I want to see Japan in finals. It's going to be great. Means we get to play Joe again. It's going to be good. Okay.
Well, assuming you make the finals, you arrogant fuck. But yeah, otherwise I agree.
You've met me, right?
Oh yeah, touche.
I mean, I couldn't fit my hat on this week because the head got too big after shitting on Canada for a whole week. Yeah.
You haven't played them yet. Just pointing that one out.
No, I know. I was just bugging Raithos.
And I swear to God, if these wonderfully pleasant North Americans decided to come in their first round a bit relaxed, they aren't anymore. We have kicked the fucking hornet's nest.
Oh yeah. No, I'm fully aware. Turns out that I really enjoy playing X-Wing, and whilst it's been fun doing all of this, there is also an aspect of I know how good I am. Show me what you got, and I'm really looking forward to playing some very, very good games this week. And hey, I finally won a thing, so I'm allowed to be cocky and self-confident. So there we go.
Hey, I came top 4. If I haven't mentioned it before,
I own Leeds. It's mine.
It is yours.
and Liam owns Leeds.
It is yours. Right. I think on that wonderful note, we should probably finish.
Can I do one shout out?
Go on.
I would like to shout out Fabian because he's invited me onto Team Liechtenstein next year.
That's right. That's right. Liam has a home. He's got a forever home now.
Baron Baker.
Of Team Liechtenstein. I can't do Fabian's accent. Fabian's accent's fucking fabulous.
Fabi is amazing.
All the stolen gold.
I last time I saw Fabi, I gave him a hug. I would like to give him a hug again. Can COVID be over, please? Let me get on a flight and not have to quarantine. That would be nice.
We've officially got to the point of the evening where the stream has started to leave.
Yeah, I know. We chatted shit. Anyway,
Screw you, Wales.
Have a very good evening. Thank you, everyone. If you got to this point, then what are you doing with your life? And yeah, thank you, Dan. Enjoyed your IGs. Gonna have to steal them. And back to dials, I suppose.
Good night, guys.
No.
Toodles.